welcome to Stepbuster Living. Here I try to show frugal living, minimalism, frugal living, and our family life in the many various ways, shapes, and forms. I'm mostly known for my mobile food pantry hauls. I think that's what really took this channel off, but some of the things that I really enjoy sharing was just trying to learn to live minimalistically with our large family. And I started a series, I shared like our hallway and how that got to a place of where I wanted it, and I shared that. But honestly, the rest of my life has just been a little bit chaotic, and a lot of it is reflected on the stuff we own. To fully get an idea of what that looks like, we were a family of 7 living in 770 square feet, and you pretty much had to live tightly. But we were also a family with many different and diverse hobbies, abilities. My husband wants to be a pastor and is actually studying to be a pastor, and he had we had a 40-foot cargo seat van that worked as a garage storage unit, but also 20 feet of that was like his study area. So it was shelves of books and a little study area set up. Well, in our current home, which is 1,250 square feet, we don't have a study for him. It's also still a 2-bedroom house. Working on converting it to a 3-bedroom. Anyway, all that to say, I homeschool, I live here, I love to read as much as crafting and everything else, and now I'm raising up children that also enjoy doing multiple different crafts and hobbies and stuff. And it gets to the point where we have to be really careful about the space, or our house can end up looking like this. This is my bedroom, otherwise known as the storage unit. The bed has not been made because I need to change the sheets. That is a lot of stuff that I'm working on selling. This is not how I want my bedroom to look like. I have to accept that my bedroom will never look like I want it to. I want it just to be a bedroom, but it will never be that way. It will have to dub as my husband's study and bedroom. It just will. And if that's going to be the case, then I have to work doubly hard on keeping it clutter-free and minimalistic. One of the things that we learned this year when I did more canning and I did more homesteading is that there is a balance between learning to live a minimalistic life and a homesteading life. Having a homesteading life means that you are going to end up with more stuff, but to balance that out with a minimalistic life, which the minimalism says that you keep what is needed and enjoyed in a balanced view. Well, one of the things that I learned was in really working on the homesteading aspects, a lot of my time in the other things was cut drastically. So that's kind of where you start shifting and minimalizing some of the other clutter in your life, whether that is clutter that's taking time away from things that you need to put your energy into elsewhere. So, a lot of things got shoved in here and shoved out of the way, kind of out of sight, out of mind. I don't really get to be in here unless it's bedtime. So this needs a huge makeover, and I have about 2 hours to do that before I need to start on dinner. It's probably going to take me 2 hours to just go from top to bottom and deal with everything. Not everything is mine, not everything is stuff I can deal with, but I can deal with what is mine and what I have the ability to deal with. And that's something I think is extremely important when we are going into more of a minimalistic mindset, is we tend to go for things that are easy things that we don't think is necessary, especially as moms and wives, and we can deal with their stuff first. But it kind of needs to be our stuff first. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get started. I'm going to take you along. This is kind of really hard for me to open up because once you put yourself out there on YouTube like this, you are opening yourself up for a lot of criticism. And so I hope that this video is actually more directed towards those that this is going to be helpful for. This is going to be the video that I needed when I was looking for how do I do minimalism as a family. You know, I'm not a single couple or a single person. I have to do this as a family. And I won't even be able to do it to the way that I would like it to happen because I'm not the only one living here. So even the family minimalism videos that I watch, I still can't do it to that extent because my husband's life is here as well. And my husband has different hobbies than a lot of those men. So, and he doesn't even have his own church where we could move everything to a church study. It has to be here. So all of those people that I got inspiration from, I still can't copy it, which creates our own story in this. And I hope that our story will help somebody else that's in a similar boat of, well, I can't just wipe out my husband's collection of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no. We do with what we can, where we have, where we are. Alright, so without further introduction and ramblings, come with me in making over my bedroom on a very minimalistic budget. 0. Because I'm going to declutter and clean up. Here we go. So we're just going to start here. This is my husband's desk. He loves to stack bookshelves on top of bookshelves on top of desks. Like, that's his thing. I don't get it. I've never understood it. But this is my reality, and this is his area. This is his area, but the reason I'm showing it is because I see... This is not his. This is something that my sisters got to put in my daughter's stocking. So I'm going to go put that in the stocking box. And all I'm going to do here is just give it a quick dusting. I'm not even going to tidy it up. This is his domain. A lot of this stuff is his as well. I'm kind of stuck on what I can do. These are shoes that don't fit him, don't work for him. He doesn't like them. But they're too good to get rid of or throw away. Does anybody else have this issue? Shoe. Okay. Running wild with that. We have a lot of these things for our blinds. They broke off. Can we get rid of them? No. We're going to save them to doomsday. So that's kind of where I am, folks. But I'm going to do with what I can where I have. But it's not going to look amazing after this because all of this is his. But I am going to dust it. I don't put out my husband's area as look at all of his flaws. I really just want to show that sometimes there are things out of our control, and it's actually up to us how we use our words, use our actions even in something like this. I could go and I could make this sound like I am upset. What I'm trying to do here is just point out to women in particular that it really is up to us to be the builders of our home, but some of what we do doesn't necessarily mean that we are the only people behind all that gets done in our homes. You know, when you go to build a home, you've got your contractor, you've got your plumbers, you've got all this stuff, and I'm not going to go into all of that, but it isn't just you building the home, it's other people involved, and it's important, especially that while we are the builders of our home, while we are called to take care of our home, it's also equally important to realize that a huge portion of that is our words and actions. And so it's up to me to really focus on the good side of our home and what I can do, not moaning and complaining about the things that I don't have control over. I'm going to start working on this area here, but I wanted to just have a little more of a chit chat. Some of these need to go to my sister. We found this at a thrift store for 50 cents and she has a record player. I spent so many years being bitter about what I was restricted to in terms of how I was allowed to decorate our home. I wanted to balance the one side of a book I read. I can't tell you what book, I can't tell you anything about it. I'm going to take everything off my dresser and then put back what I want back. That's what I'm going to do. In that book, I don't remember the context. I remember nothing about it. You know, it may have even been Crown. I don't know. But in the book, it talks about the mother-in-law coming over one day to her wife's house, or to her daughter-in-law's house, and making comment of the fact of, oh wow, I can see that my son lives here. And the daughter-in-law was kind of confused. Like, well, what do you mean? She's like, for so many years I saw so much of you in the decoration, but I never saw any of the things that he loved being here. I didn't realize he lived here, kind of an aspect. Not being mean, but kind of, hey, it was more you, not necessarily him. And that always stuck with me because I had a whole different mindset of how I wanted our house to look, and it's nothing like my husband's. My husband is very practical. Practicality over beauty. And again, I grew up waiting for the day when I could decorate my own home, and I got married and I had a rude awakening. Many people don't realize this, but my husband is almost 20 years older than me. It works well for us. I think there's going to be a lot of, but it works well for us. But one of the things that I really had to deal with was I'm marrying a 30-year-old man, set in his ways, and I'm not going to just be able to go and change the way he lives because I want it differently. So I couldn't move into the house and I couldn't paint it the way I wanted. I couldn't decorate things the way I wanted. And even if I could, it's not like we could have afforded it. We lived off of bulky furniture that everybody else was getting rid of. But it was practical. It was free. And I lived in a cinder block house. There really wasn't any way to decorate this because it's bulky. And again, I dealt with a lot of anger about it. And there really is no purpose for that. It just becomes a branch of discontentment within your marriage. So, over the years, I've calmly let go of the way I would like things, and I've asserted myself in other areas of things that I would like. It's how somebody once told me. She said, pick your battles. You can't win them all. Choose the ones that mean most to you and the most that will help the two of you understand each other. So I have certain areas in my living room that they're the way that I want them. You can see me in there. And then I have the bedroom, where a lot of my husband is in here. If I can keep my places that I'm allowed clean and tidy and the way I want them, then that's how they'll stay. And that's a bit of me in here. Alright, I got this cleaned off and dusted. These were my grandma's. I used to see them on her display all the time. She used to collect a bunch of these, and then when she moved in with my mom, she let so many of them go, but she pulled out 3. One for me, and one for each of my girls. And then we have this little oil lamp I got secondhand. I figured if we ever lose power, it's a nice little way of light in here, but it's a very simple thing. My daughter got this and painted it and then didn't need it anymore. I'm not even sure what's on here. It's my husband's. It has no fitting whatsoever in here. But he just wanted it painted and put up. I might take it down one day and paint it white. I think that'll be okay. But we'll see. Alright, so this is all the stuff that I took off of here. These need to go back into the picture box. These are my 16th birthday pictures. Me and my daughter kind of did where we redid them. So, because she looks so much like me and she's only 15. So that was kind of fun. The only corsage my husband ever bought me. And some things if needed, so. That's what that's for. I have a candlestick here, which I actually would prefer to have over here. See, this is what I'm working on. Okay, we have a family picture. So when we first moved here. One of my favorite pictures of my husband. But, oh, it still has it. And because we didn't really have a place for this is the only picture I have of me in ballet. But that can go in the picture box. We don't need it in here. These are some things I need to deal with. This can get thrown away. I don't need that. And what's a stack of books I'm trying to work through? Get rid of, deal with. Okay, I'm just going to work on this for a few minutes. Okay, this is how I want it to stay. These books do not need to be on there. These are books that I'm working through. Obviously, I have a problem going on here, but this is kind of like my fiction read. I have not really been getting into this one at all. I think I may just pass on this. I think it was a play that was adapted for a novel, but I am not getting into it. I don't know why. So I might just get rid of that. Anyway, and then I have this stack. So see if you see the problem with my stack. Nonfiction, 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 fiction, fiction, nonfiction, nonfiction. If you don't know, it takes me a long time to read nonfiction because, I don't know, I just really have a problem getting into nonfiction. So there's exceptions. So this is a nonfiction one. We were going to go to Janesville, and I kind of wanted to know the story behind Janesville. I'm honestly bored to tears with this. I think I'm just going to mail it back to my sister and just whatever. This one is a reread, and it's so good, but it's kind of one of those that I'm re-soaking it in. So it's taking a bit of time. So I keep going, and then I keep going. Okay, moving on. This is another one that I wanted to get into. I have the first one in the car because I've been reading it in the car. Okay. This one I've heard nothing but good, but again, I'm just not in the mood to reading it. Another one that I've heard really good things about, but I'm just not into it. So, I'm going to choose 3 to keep over by my bed. And I'm going to put the rest away. So, that's, I think, the next thing I'm going to do. Okay, I dealt with the books. The 2 I'm prioritizing. Next thing I'm going to do is tackle this area. It is the next day, and I'm back at it. I completely forgot that yesterday was our town's tree lighting ceremony service, and I promised to take my sisters for their first time doing this. So we're back at it. My husband's also been doing some work, but also things have been added because packages and Christmas. Let's get to this. Okay, this is my husband's side. But the stack is stuff. These are like extra blankets that so far nobody has needed. So I think it's time to find a new home. Okay, I'm going to call that done. I did what I could with what I had at my disposal. So we're done. Okay, so these sheets desperately need to be changed, but my husband is working on this project right now. He took all the scrap wood, he glued it all together. This thing is solid. And then he found some wood in the dumpster, and he like tapered, like, my husband is so talented. And then he just has like a whole envision in mind with this. But anyway, it's laying out here for a particular reason that I don't know. So we're just going to move on. These are Christmas pajamas that my mother got, and they all came in. These are Christmas gifts that I need to mail. This is my little shelf area, so this is what we're going to work on next. Can you tell I have a cold? This is my roll of Kleenex. Okay, so if we're going to talk minimalism here, let's talk minimalism. So this is the kind of things that I typically do before I go to bed. I put lotion on and chapstick on. This is my favorite perfume, and I don't use it very often. This is a candle, which I think the other side of the room has one too. This is a picture my son had painted and got destroyed, but he doesn't normally paint things, and it means a lot to me, so it's a very sentimental thing. And this is something my daughter painted for me. And that is also a card for my daughter, so it means a lot. And then my daughter went with my son to the Getty's Museum, something I had wanted to see for a long time. And so I guess my brother was very excited to try to find something for me, and so he got me Van Gogh's irises, and it's a little thing. So I'm going to use that for just a little earring case. I have a lot, but I don't have a lot that I wear pretty regularly. So then usually I get into bed, lay down, and realize I have earrings left in my ears. So that'll work out great. But other than that, I think this is pretty much done. This is my traveler's notebook. So lots going on there. So then we're back to this. So a lot of this is stuff that I was getting rid of and selling. So I kind of have to separate this and go through this and figure out what's what. This is going to take me a little bit of time. And because I don't want this a terribly long video, I will probably just get back to you in just a little bit. Okay, well, I started this yesterday, and now we are gonna call it good. So I changed the pillowcases. I did not change the sheets, and I'll explain why in just a second here. Wanted to show how this still ends up being a collect-all or clutter place. So I have some gifts here and some gifts here, and I need to ship those. I have this thing that I got from Mary Seeds when I ordered my seeds, so I kind of need to find a good place for that, so I'm kind of walking around with that. Our bed just, I did a whole Instagram post about this, about how I try to always have like the perfect, beautiful bed, and I've just let go of that. One of the reasons is during the wintertime, we don't let the heater run at night. I need blankets, and I'm a very cold person, and I have maybe one other kid that's like me, but the rest of the family goes on my husband's side of the family. And they have their own built-in heaters. I am not kidding. I am freezing at night, and they are kicking everything off wearing shorts in the middle of winter. When it's negative whatever outside, they will wear shorts. But it's 20-something right now, and my son walks around in shorts because he literally has his own heater built into him. I don't get it. Okay, so we're going to call that good. The reason why I don't have everything changed is I did want clean pillowcases. The sheets will be fine, but today is Cyber Saturday. No. Small business, whatever. It's the day after Black Friday. My Kohl's cash, I can use. I don't normally shop online. However, my mom bought Christmas pajamas for the kids. That's something she does. She buys Christmas pajamas, and we wrap them up with a book. Now that I'm over here in Indiana, I told my mom, I was like, hey, look, I can get everything on Kohl's for this price, and we went for it, and it got me $30 Kohl's cash back. She reimbursed me, and then I took that Kohl's cash today and bought some flannel sheets for our bed. Because I'm telling you, I freeze. So they're on their way. They've already had a shipping notice, so they will be here soon. I'm really excited about that. Kind of kept it simple. Okay. And then we move to the side of the room, which you might be thinking, that is not minimal. Let's get into this. Okay, so this is a shipping pile. I need to ship and get this out. Most of it's packaged and ready to go. We do the 25 books of Christmas, so each day we open a book and read it. This is the beginning of that pile. Okay, this 2 stacks right here, these are books I'm trying to sell online. These are books we're reading this year in our homeschool year, if I can get back on it and be diligent. This is a stack that we're working through. I need to ask my mom if she needs a Sherlock Holmes set, because apparently my son and my daughter have one. I already have ours, so I have an extra set. So there's that. We put this on the dorm when my husband is studying. This box holds our portable DVD player, which for the longest time was the only way we could watch DVDs. We used to be a family of no TV, and in the last year we changed that. We have a DVD player that's hooked up to a TV. Sad days. Alright. Trash can, hubbies, things that hubby's got to mend. I might take over that. We'll see. All of hubby's paperwork. I don't mess with any of that. Hubby's clothes, hubby's lunchbox, 2 gifts that I need to deliver. This is a bag of food. You will see this video soon, but there is a young man they're about ready to have a baby at my husband's work, and just that time of year, so we're actually going to deliver this box to them, but you'll see that video here shortly if you follow my channel. Hubby's school and church briefcase, his coat. This is a picture that my sister got me when we were moving. So it means a lot to me. It's all of my sisters. I have 2 brothers, but that's all of us. So still would like to find a good place. It would be there, but I have stuff there. So still working on that. This box here is school curriculum I'm selling and a dress I need to fix for my sister. This is a bag of books going to a friend. She will bring me a 25-pound bag of gluten-free flour, and I trade her for books that she wants. Fantastic. There's another box on the bottom, and those are church hymnals that my husband has collected. Okay, let's see what we got. So let's talk about minimalism and my stuff. You know, me. Let's talk about my thing here. Here is my area of shame. So let's get into this. This is my I want to read bucket. This is my overflow bookshelf. Yeah. And then there's a little gift for somebody. I was supposed to go up and see her. Never happened. Then a little book that I was really enjoying. I don't know if I'll keep it just because I don't know if it's worth the value to me to keep, but it's been really enjoyable. This is my laptop bag. I do use this. This is my keepsake box. I've got letters that mean a lot to me in here, cards that people have made me, artwork, things that just have a sentimental value that I want to keep. Whatever I can keep needs to stay in here. There's a couple more books here. They really don't need to be here. But, oh boy. Alright, and then this is some almond milk that we will use. And this is the kids' Christmas presents this year. There are some bubbles that we found on clearance. So I just have them in here, pull them out for a We're Going Crazy day. I actually really want to do it when temperatures are really, really low and see what happens. There's a lid to something. I don't know what. This is an empty case. My husband likes them because they're solid, but we have many that sit empty. Christmas cards, I found them tucked under here, so I pulled them out so I can get those done. There's my husband's clothes. He will wear everything out to shreds. There's my one nightgown, my one black dress, and then my clothes kind of just are getting tucked down here until further notice. So, oh, and my son's church clothes. So, there we go. We have a black church shirt, a sweater, black, oh, I realized this couldn't see, sweater, black church shirt. This one I probably should just get rid of this. I have to be so careful when I bend down on that. I probably should just get rid of it. But it's so hard to find shirts for me. This is something I pretty much wear exclusively in July. I just wear it out and then wear it again later. And then these are pretty much the skirts that I wear on a pretty regular basis. I'm sure you can see them. Or I'm sure you have seen them in a lot of my videos. So that's pretty much what I have. All of my shirts are folded into my drawer. This is, you know, we want to talk about clutter and minimalism. This is what I get to work on. This is my task. So, we're going to call it good. This is a crib that we use for the foster baby that I babysit. He's not my foster baby, but I babysit him. My daughter has a huge fascination with these real life baby doll look, and so that's her baby. That's her toddler. Trust me, going into a room at night and seeing those eyes stare at you can scare everything out of you that you ever thought was possibly in you. And then the car seat was something that she loves and uses all the time, but we don't really have a place for it, so it sits in here. There's a skirt I'm selling. I just realized I've worn it maybe twice since purchasing it, which means it's not my go-to, so it needs to go. So that was one thing I was able to get rid of, and then this one, my grandma made it for me, and I need to fix it because it's starting to unravel in one place, and I really would like to catch that before it's completely unraveled and my daughter left this in here, so I need to take it back to her. So that is it. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time with another video. Keep on plugging along.